thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We're back with another short edition of IDP. We've got some new wave jangle, we'll call it, some kraut wave, some indie pop, and some, we're going to say, gothic country rock. Yeah, so I think you're going to want to grab yourself a beer and then, hold on tight to your meat stick and don't let go. I think that's the best advice this time around. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have this sophomore LP from a band out of Ohio. They're called the Laughing Chimes, and their new album is titled Whispers in the Speech Machine, and it's out now on Slumberland Records. So previously, the Laughing Chimes had a kind of lo-fi, jubilant jangle pop sound. On this record, there's still jangly guitars, but they have kind of done a pivot to a more new wave, a little bit gothy vibe, possibly akin to bands like Echo and the Bunnymen, Psychedelic Furs, or like the Chameleons, like in that kind of ballpark. You also maybe hear, early Flying Nun influence in here as well. It definitely has a darker tone overall. There's some prominent synths. The vocals sound more Liverpool than Athens, Ohio. You'll remember the last time we spoke about the Laughing Chimes. We did an in-depth, deep dive discussion into what is the most famous Athens in the world, because the Laughing Chimes are from Athens, Ohio. You can go back and check that out. If I remember, I'll link to that. Yeah, I'd say a solid album overall, but possibly one that maybe could be divisive among people that were fans of them previously. I guess I'm not really sure. Anyway, that's, again, the band called the Laughing Chimes, and their sophomore LP is called Whispers in the Speech Machine.
And now you only white, you're on spot at the glass, but you could make like a rabbit, but you keep breathing fast. All this time you talk out of sight, the cats only go by watching the night. You turn left when you told to turn right. All the stars upon your knees are the cheapest love. Cross the plain, your time won't break. All the shadows in the sky won't touch the rain.
Next up, we have a trio out of Cologne, Germany. The group is called Kratzen, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, and I think it translates to scratch in English. And their new LP is titled 3, like I or 111. It's stylized. They self-describe their sound as being a combination of krautrock and new wave, and they call that kraut wave. Has that repetitive, hypnotic, motoric beat with an unemotional vocal delivery style. Has both male and female vocals trading off leads on different tracks. All the vocals are in German, so if you can sprechen Sie Deutsch, that might help. I would say folks that are not down with non-English vocals probably aren't gonna, groove with this album. I think it's quite good overall. Definitely worth checking out. I think I like the vocals across the board. I don't have a problem with the vocals, but I think I prefer the female lead vocals, the tracks that are sung by the female vocalists. But yeah, again, I think I dig it overall. It's it's indie rock record with strong krautrock and new wave, if you want to say vibes built in. Anyway, the band again is called Kratzen, Kratz or Z-E-N, and the album is called 3 on 2059935 Records DK.
Doch traut zu sprechen mich nicht. Ich darf mich nach dir sehen. Doch ich verrate es nicht. Wo immer du bist, was immer du tust. Was immer dich treibt, wo immer du rufst.
Ich seh dich vor mir stehen, dabei seh ich dich gehen. Je näher du mir bist, je mehr ich dich vermisse. Du bist nichts und alles für mich. Du bist nichts und alles für mich.
Next, we have the long-running Swedish indie pop duo called Club 8. They released their 11th album basically throughout the year 2024, kind of one track at a time. It's an 11-track album. I think that maybe once a month for 11 months or something. Yeah, so I think that the official digital release of this album is considered to be December, like mid-December of 2024, but the vinyl version of the album has just been released. The album is called A Year with Club 8. I think I'm going to consider this a 2025 album, even though it was technically released very late in 2024. Club 8, you probably know, started back in the mid-90s. I think that they got on my radar, and I had I think their second LP, which I think came out in 1998. But they started off as more of a, doing a Swedish indie pop, which was, a bit twee. Over the years, they've released albums in a number of different styles, ranging from even like Euro disco almost to synth pop to global groove. Yeah, they've jumped in and out of a number of different genres. Here they've jumped into a kind of dream poppy indie pop sound. It's 11 songs of just really delicious, it's kind of a little bit noisy, melodic, super catchy indie pop. Very good stuff. Some synths, some jangle, like some jangly guitars, some synths, some noisy, rattling guitars as well. The indie pop kids out there, I think, should give this one a shot. For sure, if you liked the early Club 8 and maybe fell out, like maybe were less interested in the other directions that they were going through over the years, this might be a good one to come back to as well, I would say. Again, that is Club 8. That's the artist, Club 8, and the album is called A Year with Club 8, and I believe it's a self-release. Is back with another Bonnie Prince Billy album. This one is called The Purple Bird, and it's out now on No Quarter. So Will Oldham finally, went and made a country western LP, I guess. Maybe gothic country, we could say. This album is produced by David Ferguson, who's produced albums by Johnny Cash, Sturgill Simpson, a number of others. My understanding is that he being Will Oldham, met David Ferguson when he was doing the backing vocals on the Johnny Cash cover of his song, I See a Darkness. That album, I can't remember which one of those American Recordings albums, was produced by David Ferguson. And so they met, Will Oldham and David Ferguson met at that time, and then they came back together here for this album. Yeah, so this album features a bevy of, Nashville session musicians, and it really sounds like Will Oldham fronting like a very accomplished modern country band. I would say it works really well for the most part. I still think I know a lot of people don't like Will Oldham's kind of vocal delivery style, I guess. This isn't going to change that. I guess what I'm trying to say, it still sings that way. But regardless, I would still say it's worth a shot. Unless you also just can't stand country music. So if you can't stand country music and you can't stand Will Oldham singing, I wouldn't bother. But otherwise, maybe worth checking out. Again, this is an album called The Purple Bird by Bonnie Prince Billy.
In this fight, the devil will say your time's come and gone, or you will find that things have come to coincide. Now is the time to die. Maybe we'll always be this way. Make it our home. Stare at the sunset and not at the wall. Winter and spring and summer and fall. Answer the door when your friends come to call. There's not that much to it, no